in ways to keep us on the field. I felt like the defense again, even though they made tremendous stops and got tremendous turnovers, most half of them was in the red zone, right? Like two of them, they were
Yeah,
bound to score.
yeah.
So I'm happy that they happen when they do. Shout out to the like I cannot applaud the defense anymore. Like they get my blood pressure high and then they just take it even higher when they actually take the ball away. So it feels great.
Can I make a statement, B,
Yeah.
to morale 212?
Yes.
So
And we're not talking about the quarterback situation yet. So
right, nah,
saving
nah,
that.
I'm not.
So I don't know what you
I'm
responded
bypassing
to.
that.
I said
I'm
a lot.
bypassing that. It's something that you just touched on. I think what I'm gonna say, what's that word? What grinds my gears when it comes to us Steelers fans is that we have this large expectation on our defense, regardless of who's out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we have a low expectation from the offense that we apply more pressure to the defense. And for me, it's like this. Okay, the defense in all this year, probably two halves that they didn't play really that well in, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Indianapolis game, the first
Mm-hmm.
half, and then
Mm-hmm.
the following, right? When
In
I
the
see
first
people
drive from
say
this game.
huh?
The first drive from the Raiders game, horrible.
Right.
But
So when I see people say they're gonna say the defense scored 30, like let's talk real football. Let's not talk from a perspective of there's 11 people on offense and there's 11 people on defense. Let's talk about the fact that our defense always puts the offense in great situational football. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about the fact that there have been countless times where we've gotten turnovers and all we had to settle for was 3 points. Let's talk about the punt return that Calvin Austin gave us and we didn't get anything out of it. Let's talk about the fact, like, so when we say the defense scored, you might as well put that on the defense because we put everything else on the defense, right? We put the
Mm-hmm.
pressure on the defense when the defense doesn't get the stop that we want, even though they have been solid all game. We always talk about that one drive, but I don't hear nobody talking about the pressure the offense puts on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
If the offense does more first downs, more in time of possession, more in flipping the field, so the defense don't always have to play on the short field, then we can have a different conversation. But if we're not going to talk real football and say, listen, the defense is the reason why our record is what it is, then what are we talking?
Yeah.
It ain't Justin Fields that's 4-2. Our defense put Justin Fields in position to where we really could be 6-0 if you want to be technical. So talk that talk too. Don't just keep coming out and saying Justin did this and Justin did that. Like Justin has not did anything for us to lose, but don't take away from the defense because we got a patchwork out there on the D line. Like we were down Herbert and Highsmith. Because remember when Highsmith went down,
and
Herbert was
Meow.
so great that people was willing to trade Highsmith. So our defense has a knack for stepping up, and they may not all step up at the same time. But damn it, when we need a play here and there, we get that play, or they give us the plays we need earlier in game. Offense don't do what they need to do to capitalize it. That's it.
Yeah. I don't disagree. We got a lot to get into. I did ask you guys how you felt about the win. I think we have a little bit of understanding about how Terrence feels about the win. What's up, Ali? We got somebody else back here that wants to get on stage too. So, Kev, tell me how you felt about this win.
I thought the win. It was a good win for the team. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the Raiders always going to remind me that the Steelers aren't the most hated team in the NFL. The Raiders going to always remind me that. So when I saw them 15-yard penalties that they was accumulating, I'm like, whew, glad it wasn't us. Even though we had 7 penalties, which is crazy. And all of
Yeah.
it was our fault. You feel me? It wasn't a ref thing.
Offense,
All of it was our
offense,
fault.
false starts and all that
You know what I'm
mess.
saying?
All
But
that
I
mess.
liked it. I liked it. I like the fact that I love when Najee has games in the West Coast, man. You see the real Najee, you know. I like the fact that from guard to guard, to me, they was exceptional from guard to guard. You know, they had some plays, you feel me? And like we just controlled the ground, 185 yards on the ground. You're not supposed to really lose games like that. So we did what we were supposed to do.
Hmm. Okay. Terrence, did you want to say anything else about the win?
Nah. I mean, as far as this past game, um, the defense played well with what we had. The offense could have done better. I think we with 100 yards passing, not too much in the passing game.
Not too much.
So we're still lacking there because if we can't if we can't utilize the run to open the pass and we can't utilize the pass to open the run, then what are we doing?
Hmm.
And that's just the
Winning the
honest
game.
question. What are we doing? I mean, but we're winning, right? But then when the defense, so the problem is the defense can't have a bad game because the offense sure as hell ain't gonna pick the defense up. So basically, we
Not
need the
not
defense to
not in
play
the
like
first
that all the
half.
time,
Not in the first half. Yeah.
right?
Right. So
So
yeah, I'm
why,
I'm
Cat? Why you looking like that, man?
I
Like,
want
I'm looking at the
he
camera.
at
Relax.
home.
Relax.
He in a different environment. Mick, how do you feel about the game? The outcome of all of that.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, I was just happy to get the win.
Hmm.
I was happy the run game showed the way it did. Um, Defense came up with timely turnovers, but I felt like we could have played better defensively for real.
Hmm.
Um, Offensively, Fields missed some throws, but that's gonna happen. But we got to be sharper in our passing game. Honestly, I feel like we need another receiver, bro. Like, ain't nobody convinced me that we don't need another one. But overall, I was happy with the W for real.
hey, Mitch, somebody said we don't even hit the receivers we got.
That's what I said.
Our
I said
receivers
that.
can't catch.
I opened the show with that. I know that Devontae Adams was a big rumor for. I mean, it wasn't not a illegitimate rumor. It was like a legit thing that was happening in negotiations, but just it didn't work out. And Aaron Rodgers gets what Aaron Rodgers wants anyway. Um, just like he got his coach fired, whatever he says. Like,
He
we
threw
don't
Mike
believe you,
Williams under
Aaron.
the
Like
bus,
nobody believes
under
you.
the
I
train,
just want to say that.
threw him
And
in a
then
volcano.
two,
Yeah,
what do we like? How can you convince a Devonte Adams to come to a place where he sees George Pickens get what five, 4 or 5 attempts?
I think he had eight
I don't
targets.
think they look at George Pickens
Okay,
and be like, that will happen to me. George
I
Pickens is a
wouldn't.
special kid.
You put eight targets. What's he averaging?
Per
But I but
game.
I but I
I don't know.
I, I think it's like 8 targets. I want to say 7 or 8 targets. I
Mm.
agree with you, Cav, but I do think if like hell, if I'm Amari Cooper, let's just say Amari Cooper, right? If I'm Amari Cooper and I'm looking at the schemes and I'm looking at the offenses that you ran, I know it don't fit me, and I
Hmm.
know it doesn't give me the best opportunity for me to tap into my talents because of the scheme and the formations that you run. So whether or not they're looking at George, I'm for damn sure they're looking at the type of offense we run.
I think they
Sorry.
looking at George these last couple games and they saying, yo, I'm better than him. That won't happen to me.
I feel like
Sorry
the
to
Oh
Annie. Girl, I
wow,
just want to say happy birthday to her real quick.
yeah.
Hi. Happy
Thank you for your
birthday.
Happy
service,
birthday, whoever that is.
Have a
and th-
ball in Egypt, okay? Have a good time. Take some
and thank you
pictures.
for your service too.
Yes.
yeah. You know,
Hey,
I feel
Annie.
like
Love you.
these
Sorry.
are trades. They wasn't free agents, so a lot of times Devontae had a say with where he got to go for
Hmm.
sure. But Amari Cooper, I don't think he had a say in where he was going. But
That
we
Neither
man,
we
wasn't
I
good.
was so mad. I wanted him to stay.
but we
Oh,
all but we all know he wasn't coming to Pittsburgh. That wasn't going to happen at all. So I never even thought that. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Once
the
I
way
heard
I
that
saw him
Adams.
playing, I'm like, it felt like it was intentional how he was dropping balls. But then again, I don't know. So I was like, I don't know what I don't know how to feel about a player like that. Like, are you doing this on intentional or are you just messed it up? Like, is this a mental thing or you just checked out because you don't want to be there? I also don't want that on my team, you know.
To my
So
Cooper, to my
like,
Cooper,
I just, huh?
to my Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like that's like I couldn't figure out if he was it seemed to me intentional and make I make jokes about it or whatever. just because it's the Browns. But I don't want you to be upset because there's a potential for you to be upset. Like people talk about their fantasy, like who should I draft wide receiver from the Pittsburgh Steelers? Nobody. Don't you ever draft a wide receiver from the Pittsburgh Steelers for
I
your
never
fantasy team?
have.
And if you did, I don't feel sorry for you because you should have did it. You
Huh?
shouldn't have did
I
You
never
said you
it.
have.
never have?
Drafted a receiver from the Steelers?
Look,
Yeah.
No,
I know
because
from Mark.
it was only one if there was, so that one was always gone. So no, I wasn't drafting the number two.
You tripping. I had
I
AB.
would
Like, I don't know
never
That
what.
was the
draft.
only one. That was the only one. You was hiding the draft to get AB. Name another one
Look,
you was taking
No,
outside of AB.
Antonio
I
Brown
was.
is literally like the only one in
Right,
the most recent wide receiver you could have picked up for the
right.
Pittsburgh Steelers. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm not
number
taking
one.
nobody
Number one,
else.
yeah.
That's it. Sorry, I was like, it is not that we don't have good wide receivers. It's just we haven't been there's not been a consistent one in a while. So
There's no
consistency,
true number one on our team.
yeah. So that's
There
why
was
I
there
say
was a
that.
statement, and I wanted to ask you, D. We
Mhm.
talk about this endlessly before. Expectation of the O line. We this week will go into another week with a whole different
Different
offensive
O
line.
line. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
So this is
I opened the show with that too.
6 weeks, 6 games, 6 different offensive lines. Not to mention the last 2 years, it was different offensive lines. I don't understand. I don't know how much continuity we're expecting from an O line that don't even practice together. Like we're
I
But
patchworking
think
out
that's
there
the
at this
main
point.
so
reason
my
why
my
Russell
thing
shouldn't start.
my
Huh?
thing my this is my
That's the
that was
main
my
reason Russell shouldn't start. But we'll
well
talk about that.
yeah, I brought that up. I brought that up what 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "You think that they're waiting for some continuity?" He was like, "No, no, no." Anyway, but
Above the same
also
thing.
I was saying if you don't have consistency on your offensive line, how are you expecting Najee Harris to be consistent? How are you expecting your run game to be consistent? How
Yep.
are you expecting all the things that you saw last week from Najee Harris? How are you expecting that with the inconsistent offensive line? How can you just hold one individual responsible for not producing when you are being inconsistent in one area consecutive weeks? And that to me was just something I had to just pound the drum on because you want consistency somewhere where it's nothing is consistent, and that besides Najee Harris being back there, that's the only consistent thing. So
People not paying attention to that at all.
yeah,
They ain't paying attention to that at all. They just think one person, Najee, get the ball and he supposed to make holes appear and run through them. Like other people in front of him don't supposed to block to get the holes there so he can run through them.
yeah,
I
and it's
don't
not
get
just
that.
the blocking; it's the communication. It's like it's so many levels to making the offense flow, and it takes time. You got different personalities. You lost a leader in James Daniel, who we didn't heard how how he was telling guys and showing guys film and stuff like that. So like these things are impactful to a team, and you don't want to hear it, but that's the reality. That is real life. So
Yeah.
I appreciate everything Najee was saying post game, and I loved it. I don't care how it made anybody else feel. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I love seeing Najee at the podium. He probably hates being there, but I enjoy it
He
because
be real. He say real
yeah,
stuff when he up there.
exactly. It's not sugar coated. It's not sugar coated at all. Okay. So back to the receiver thing. I also foot stomp this. If you're not using the weapons that you have, how can you say that you need more? Um, and
Because
the
when
thing
you
is,
look at our weapons, none of them scream, I'm elite. When you watch them run routes, they don't scream, I'm elite. I'm
but
open.
it's
Give me the rock. When we
no, hold
try to
on,
give
wait. Let
someone,
me. I'm gonna pause you on that, Kev.
go
I
ahead,
can't
go ahead.
say I cannot say that they not open. I can't
Yeah.
They
say
can
that.
be open.
I agree.
Everything can be true.
I,
I'm talking about when guys do have the opportunity, like in the end of the game, when we want to make someone feel good.
I
So
feel
we
like you're
try to
talking
give
about
them a
one.
touchdown pass. Yeah, I'm really talking about one. But we
You
try to
really
give him a
talking? You talking
touchdown
about
pass
one
and he
person?
drops. Like that
Yeah,
screams like we're not elite here. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
that's all I'm talking about.
No,
It ain't
no,
nothing too
no, no.
crazy. This is one person. You feel me? But he's supposed to be our number one though. Salute to
No,
him.
he. Nah, man, I ain't gonna.
Kev,
Me and Kev did this the other day. I ain't gonna do it today.
He was,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be.
I had a feeling that was directed at an
Yeah,
individual.
I'm gonna
Okay,
chill. But
Yeah,
I
they ain't
talked
stopping.
collectively. Collect out my response. as a collective group. Um, yeah. So that is my argument. That's my foot stomp. Okay, so we talked about that. Can we give Patrick Queen a little clap here?
Oh, that's my
13,
guy. That's my
Yeah,
13
guy,
He
go
played
Kevin.
good.
Patrick
centers.
Queen.
That's my guy.
Yes,
He
I
played
loved
good.
it.
All of them did.
Yeah, Deshaun Elliott. I absolutely love some of the tackles he has made, the plays he has made. I cannot get enough of 2-5 sometimes. I feel like 2-5s be on time. He be on time. I know we got on him, um, for the touchdowns in the Dallas game. But
Yeah,
man, like he just makes some great tackles. It just feels so good to have that kind of support. And you're not relying on Minka Fitzpatrick to do it. Somebody else is doing it.
yeah,
I personally didn't get on him about the Dallas game because I played safety before.
Yeah.
That's hard to do to run from one side all the way over here to get somebody running across it. That's hard to do. That is
Uh-oh.
hella hard to do. So
I met Jay this over the weekend in Vegas, so y'all know.
okay.
We
Shout,
talked
what's up,
about
Jay?
the something the nuts thing and the pause over from the last show.
said
Oh
no
my god,
no
Jay
queen
is
slander.
hilarious. Since you're here, Jay, we might as well go ahead and get on to the hot topic. Since you're here, all right. Pros and cons. We're gonna get into some pros and we're gonna get into some cons. But before we do that, I want to just kind of lay the scene here. Coach Tomlin. Coach Tomlin comes into Tomlin Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he came in there with some energy. He had a little sneaky smirk on, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He came in there like Coach Tomlin's energy from the get. I said, "Oh, he is up to something. He got something up his sleeve. He is smiling. He is grinning." And then he thanked Steeler Nation. He was like, "Look, y'all did y'all thing. We're thankful for y'all. And y'all did show out in Vegas. Y'all did show out. I had so much fun there. I can't even express how much fun I had." In the stadium, I feel like I don't remember half of the game. Like I just had so much fun. I blacked out. And it's not from alcohol, so don't even try it. But I literally just had that much fun. I can't remember it all. I remember like Chris Boswell hitting 2 field goals. Like I don't remember the other 2. When did they happen? I don't know. But back to Coach Tomlin Tuesday. He comes in and, thanking Steeler Nation. And, he goes through the injuries. Of course, Frazier's out. Pruitt, doing his thing. Alex Highsmith, you're going to try to work him in. Who else did they say was out? I think he might have said Patterson was out. KZ might be trying to work back. Who else? Herbig, I think, is out.
Herbig is out.
Yeah. And, he kind of went through his injury spiel. And I was actually curious about Frazier because they said it was like some type of ankle. So I didn't know how it was originally we saw week to week, but he let us know that he's done. He's out this week.
Right.
Of course, he lets us know that Russell, he had, he saw some improvement in Russell. He showed him what he wanted to see, and he'll be getting some work in with the ones, He didn't say that he was starting.
Right.
He didn't say it out up front that Russell was QB number 1, which he's still listed on the depth chart as QB number 1. I don't know why people have forgotten that. He's still QB number 1. And he left the door open for not just Russell to be QB number 1, but for the both of them at some point to see the field.
Right.
So I thought that was cool. He did say something when someone asked him the question, like, can Russell run like just or something like that? And he was just like, no.
And he said no.
And like, let's be honest. And also let's not have amnesia. Like Russell Wilson was part of the dual threat quarterback start pack. Like, let's be for real. He's mobile. He's not Lamar Jackson. No, he's not Justin Fields, but the man can still rush and get into the end zone. We've seen him. He did it last year in Denver and he's done it, previously. Yes, he's older. He may be more cautious because of dealing with his cap situation. I don't know, but he can move. Like he's not stuck to the ground, y'all. I don't know why people forgot who Russell Wilson is, but, so anyway, he left the door open. he left a lot of people, and immediately all the reports come out that Justin Fields has been benched. Justin Fields is not going to be quarterback number one. He's not going to be starting the quarterback going into this Jets game. Immediately, like
Seconds.
instantly, everyone reported Justin Fields has been benched. And I got
Yeah.
so angry because one, he didn't say that. And two, even if that's what's happening in house, why are you reporting it? Because it's not like it's not, it hasn't been publicly told that Russell Wilson is QB number one. I think what Tomlin did when he came to the podium was brilliant, simply because prepare for both. Prepare for both of them. You don't
Right.
have much film on Russell Wilson in this offense. So prepare for Justin and spend some time preparing on Russell as well. Thank you. Atlanta had to kind of do it, even though they really thought they were going to go with Russ, just because he's like he's gonna have me time spending times. And this week you're gonna have to spend time preparing for both. It just is what it is. So I know I rambled here, but I just wanted to lead. What do you guys think are the pros of bringing Russell Wilson into this offense? We'll start with the pros. What are the pros? Kev, I know I'm gonna start with you.
Pros, I say he'll be able to get the ball out quicker, make better reads. We talking about 12-year vet here. You see what Joe Flacco old ass doing over there and with the Colts, man. Like these old quarterbacks still know how to play. If they can get protected, they can make things happen. But as far as pros, it stops there.
Okay, Mitch.
Echo what Kev said, but I'm gonna add to it. He can see the field better. I think he's gonna be able to read defenses better because he's seen all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just his veteran presence, I think it can help. Hopefully, it help with some of these receivers. He can some of the guys that Justin missed. He could probably hit them. I think he'd be able to see it better because like I said, he's seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to me that's the biggest asset right there.
Go ahead,
Well,
Terrence.
I'm gonna start from the latter. I'm gonna start from a comment I seen, and then I'm gonna work to it. One,
Mm-hmm.
Denver didn't kick Russ off because Russ was unable to do the things he did because Russ, when in that year last year, Russ still was top 10 in passing yards. Russ still threw for 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions.
26.
Huh?
Right, Russ still was cooking.
It was
So
less than that.
Russ
Yeah,
passing.
six interceptions.
He only
Right,
had 6 interceptions.
right,
So
right.
yeah.
Well, I'm because it seems that morale is focused is reading. He's reading reports and not necessarily doing the research. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I just wanted to address that firt. But when it
Kick
comes to
him out the
Russ,
chat. Whoever that is, kick him out the chat. They don't know what they talking
right?
Y'all,
about, man.
y'all know
So
Morale is here every week trolling.
so
Like I don't even
so
know why y'all
so
do
so
this.
Take a
so
week
so
off,
now
guys.
so now so now that I've addressed that, um, for me when it comes to Russ, it's his poise,
Mm-hmm.
it's his leadership. And I've said this from day one when it comes to our offense. We lack leadership. And the offense need leadership in regards to when the nerves are gone, when we have a fumble, we get it back, calming morale to moraling the guys down, calming them down and whatnot. We need that. We haven't had that. We need that vocal leadership. We understand that that's not Justin's game, but sometimes it's needed, right? In addition to Russ's leadership, Russ's poise, I also believe that Russ gives us an edge in his longevity of how he's been able to do it time and time again. Now, I'm not saying Russ is going to go out there and throw for 500 yards because Russ is still dealing with the same elements that Justin dealt with. The difference is Russ has been here long enough and has played with so many different guys who may not always had a number one and
Mm-hmm.
still been able to deliver. I think he has that knack for bringing a team together, that camaraderie, his energy, his effort. I think that's contagious, and I think that's what we need as far as our offense.
I hope you're
Okay.
right, bro. I do.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I ain't even. I ain't even. I'm not lying. I really. he right about his energy and how the positivity he lead with. It be a good thing. It can come off goofy, you know what I'm saying? But it's really it's really a big thing among his teammates.
Mhm.
I really hope that he able to do everything you saying because I
Hey,
feel like if he do, we're gonna win a lot of football
all right,
games.
so
All right,
Mitch, let me ask you a question, and you know this personally, so I'm gonna
Mhm.
ask you directly, right? What is the one thing what is the one thing that kills a team but also uplifts them when you have something great? And we can use Bowie State for that matter. What is the one thing that they need on offense that will propel them? What is the one thing they need?
good quarterback play.
Okay.
Always is.
Yeah, I had a I mean, you can have a good quarterback, but okay, so but yeah, I had this conversation earlier. We were talking about you have Patrick Mahomes who's losing wide receivers left and right. Still figuring out a way to get done. Defense
Mm-hmm.
is helping them stay in the thing.
His
So
numbers
like,
look crazy this year, though.
huh?
His numbers look crazy this year. Patrick
Yeah, like
Mahomes.
he's not excelling at this high level,
And
but
they
they're
undefeated.
still they're still undefeated.
Yeah,
Their defense is holding them together. He's throwing interceptions. So for me, if you can get a guy that can do that with limited weapons, as people like to say and throw around. But I'm gonna go back to the pros. Terrence, I really love the things that you said, and leadership is big on my list. I love vocal leadership. I am not saying there's anything wrong um, with Justin Fields. This is not me. This is nothing I'm saying is against Justin and who he is. These are just the things that I see with Russell that I know this team needs because I've seen what it looks like without it. And we
Mm-hmm.
saw it last year and we saw it the year before, and I don't want to see it no more. So, leadership, communication, telling guys what they see, where they need to go, encouraging them, speaking life into this offense. We need it. I'm not saying we don't have it, we do have it, but I think we need to see it more.
Mhm.
Um, and I guess it in the heightened role. Like there's only so much Russell can do from the sideline, right? I can go out there and smack everybody's hand, but ultimately I gotta respect the guy that's running the show, and that's Justin. So I don't want to mess up Justin's groove. I don't want to, say too much. I want him to kind of be in his zone and do his game day thing. And I'll talk to him when I need to talk to him. But at the same time, I gotta back up and give you your space. So I want to see what I do want to see, and y'all know where I've been since week one with this thing, and even before, when Russell first got here, I need I need to see before someone says, "Who do you want? You want Justin, or you want uh, what's his name, Russ?" I need a sample size of both before um, I can say we need to permanently lean one way or the other. And I think the pros right now allow the passing game to open up. It allow us to see, do we really need another wide receiver? Are we capable with a guy that I love that ain't getting the ball, Scotty Too Hottie Miller? I love 13. Like, get my man out there. Don't do that. But
No,
also, can
I'm,
we
I'm
get
joking.
laughing at morale 212.
oh
Yeah,
well,
that's what I.
I'm not
he
looking
just
at him because I be in the zone
he
and I
just
can't get
threw me
distracted.
off. Like
I can't get distracted with him around right now. So he gotta wait. So
yeah, he threw me off.
I need to see Scotty Miller out in the mix. I need to see Darnell Washington. I need to see the middle of the field be an option. I think everyone kind of in that moment where Kyle Allen came in and like
Mm.
immediately threw that dot to Pat Fryermuth, everyone kind of was just like, he made that look so easy. Why was that so easy? I think that opened people's eyes a little tiny bit that were blinded by Justin Fields' legs.
You know what though?
And
To that point, D. You know what threw me off with Justin, and I'm a Justin guy. Terrence know this, Kev know this. But Justin came right in the game, came right back in the game, threw like 3, 4 passes, went right down, scored a touchdown. Then when he came back on the field, he seemed kind of apprehensive, and I was like, why he not pulling the trigger? Because I had to go back and look at some of these games. I went back and looked, and I was like, yeah, he missing reads, and I was like, man, I don't know why he missing them. If he not seeing it, or he just taking like, forget it, I can just use my
Yeah.
legs and get up out of
It's
there,
That
not
like, you
that.
know what I mean?
It's
and
not.
that is my
It's, so
question. I don't
so
know if
D,
it's a
can I?
concern or what. Is
So
it I can't or I won't? And when
it's
I
not.
say this, it's because sometimes I see Justin stop here and he's like only looking here for this
Mm-hmm.
throw.
He
And if
don't
I
go through
don't
all the
get this
reads.
throw within here, I gotta go.
So
And
so
that is I don't know if it's a, I won't go here or I can't go here. And we
so
can say it's a can't because my offensive line not gonna give me enough time, or we could say you have, like there's multiple variables. There's not one reason for every time it happens.
Both can be true.
Yeah, they all can be.
Both can
Everything
be
can be
true.
true in
Mm-hmm.
in one play. And I just like I said, I can't say that he can't or he just doesn't.
so D,
Um,
I know
and
he can.
so D, and I've said this. You know this. I've said this so many times, right? It so my whole process when it came to Justin Fields, because before we got Justin Fields, I had a show where I said I wanted us to get Justin Fields, and I said, and when we got Russ, and we were, so I was an advocate for it. I wanted it. This was my thing when it came to Justin, and this is my stance. I've never said Justin doesn't have the capabilities to do the things that we know he can do. My issue have always been this: Justin Fields did not get the best of the best when he came into the league. He
mhm,
had two head coaches. He had three offensive coordinators. He
mhm,
ran for his life in Chicago. So
mhm,
for me, when I see Justin in our offense, as makeshift as our offensive line is,
mhm.
I find it at times that Justin is resorting back to old habits because in
Chicago.
Chicago, all he was able to do was get that one read off. After that one read, he's now looking for an exit lane. He didn't have time to look for his second and third options. For me, it has always been Justin going back to the drawing boards, Justin relearning, undoing all the bad habits that he had to endure in Chicago, and relearning and seeing how Russ handles it, right? He never had that opportunity to really see how that played out. He didn't have the growth and development in Chicago. He didn't have the offensive line in Chicago. He didn't have the playmakers in Chicago, right? So he ran for his life. For me, it is all about Justin Fields' long term confidence. If we can restore Justin back to how it Justin looked like coming out of Ohio State, coming into the league,
What?
then I feel we'll get the best of Justin. But we're not going to get the best of Justin after what Justin endured in Chicago. And if we put it, and regardless of what happens or whoever's back there, I feel that when it came to it, look at some of the plays. When the line breaks down and the pocket is collapsing, Justin is stepping up. He's seeing a small open lane that he feels he can run through, but by the time he gets there, it's too late. It's closed. Now he's looking back downfield. We're sacked. Or is moments where the pressure is pushing back, and instead of Justin stepping up, he's stepping back into the pressure. I think a lot of that like Justin just has to unlearn everything that he had to endure in Chicago. That's why I've always been a
It's gonna take
proponent for
time.
Russ. Right,
Yeah,
it takes time, and he
That's
has
a
to
it's gonna
that's a
take
unlearn
good
that and relearn it.
yeah,
that's a
and
good
and and
I
yeah,
like that term.
yeah,
I like that. I didn't
and
think
I
about it.
and
I
I
didn't
and
think about it on that scale. My
but
fault,
that's
D.
always kind of why I wanted him to just like ease into this. I didn't want him to be thrown into it. Unfortunately, he had to be thrown into it
Mm-hmm.
because that is a lot of pressure. And guess what? He could not fail because if he failed immediately, and I'm glad he didn't, that is, can you imagine the fans, the media, how they would have ate him up? You could have
Long
like
term
ruined this
confidence.
man's entire
And
career.
that's why I
And
said long term confidence.
and
Yeah.
I
Like he,
think and I
yeah,
think that could play a factor in this man's head, whether
but
he wants to talk about it or admit it or whatever. Like I can't mess up. I can't make mistakes. One, because I got Russell Wilson over here ready
Mm-hmm.
to take ready to come back and regain his spot. And then I gotta get a deal next year. I gotta get a home next year. I gotta put out good film for my next contract.
And,
You know
but
what
not
though? The one thing I will say, I agree with everything that Turn said,
Yes, yes,
honestly. But the one thing I will say that I was happy that he didn't do, he didn't have a bunch of turnovers.
yeah,
yeah,
Like he did in Chicago. He did get that happy feet. He did
but
he did have a happy feet. You see him get up out of there quick. Like if that first read ain't there, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying?
so
It happened a lot this past week. I was kind of happy. I'd rather him run off of unscheduled than scheduled. You know what I mean? Sometimes because a lot of times you seen where he like I give you an example like the touchdown run, the first one that was unscheduled, but you see that he saw that there was man coverage and he knew they turned his back, so he just took off running. To me, that was a smart decision. You see what I'm saying? But some of them times he stepped up and he missed people open. It was people coming across the middle open. It was an out on the other side of the field that was open. He missed it. I don't know part because he had happy feet.
yeah.
but
I don't think
but
people are
but
talking much
but
about the fumbles, Ali. But Kev, did you have something to add? I know we.
Nah, a lot of y'all saying things I said weeks prior. So, ain't no
and
reason to repeat myself. So
and to Kev, and I don't say this just to Kev, but because we've had the conversation. One thing that I think that when a lot of fans say Justin is 4-2 and Justin is playing well, I be wanting people to define to me what is well, because if we're still only passing for 100 yards in week 6, that's a problem, right? But my other thing is this: in September, especially when you have a new quarterback, you have a new offensive system. Nobody knows who you are, right? That's when you establish your identity, right? And
Mhm.
that's more times when offenses are able to do whatever they want because nobody knows what to expect. So imagine us struggling during the moments where we're supposed to be really putting our imprint or who we are as an offensive unit and we can't do it, right?
Mhm.
That's problematic because now we're getting into this season where people are starting to, okay, we know the Steelers have no wide formations. We know they like to go bunch formation. We know they don't spread the receivers out. We know they do a lot of the same things in different formations, right? So if we're still only passing for 100 yards in a game and we saying that that's problematic because when we play a team that can score and our defense ain't going to be able to hold us up like they've been doing, that
Yeah.
means we can't rely on our offense to go point for point. So if we can't move the ball and if we can't get those plays and if we can't score in the red zone, then it's all for naught. Playing well or not, 100 yards is not good. In the AFC is stout. What is the one thing the Ravens can give up a lead and take a lead? We can't do that with our offense. Mahomes,
Mhm.
people keep saying Mahomes numbers. Guess what? They 6-0. You know why? Because when they need a play, he
He make them.
makes it.
He
Mhm.
makes every
Mhm.
time. Not just
Yeah.
him neither. Not just Mahomes. Mahomes, Josh Allen, my man Stroud. Like them dudes go make plays. So
And it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with the way we're winning, but don't have an expectation that this winning is going to take us far. That
Yeah.
is my
I mean,
that
we
is
did
my
the same
statement.
thing. Yeah, we did the same thing last year. Like
We're not
we're
going
winning.
far.
if you
Yeah,
did,
we're winning, but we knew that we couldn't continue to win games not scoring 20 something
Oh,
points.
Kenny
So like
Pickett was trash. You
you
ain't gotta
have
ask
yeah,
me
you
about
have
Kenny
to
Pickett.
figure out your defense is going to get tired of having to constantly bail this team out. They
He's
yeah,
trash.
they're not willing. They're willing to take this team on their back, but we have to be willing to do the extra things to get this offense in shape where the defense can have a bad series. They can have a bad, they can whatever. We just need to take the load off of them. And I don't see anything wrong. So we talked about the pros. Um, let's talk about the cons really quick on Russell getting a start this week, even though it hasn't been confirmed that he is starting this week. What are those cons, Kev?
I can't really say I have any cons because I haven't seen anything. I can't really go
You can
back
mention
to
the offensive
preseason.
line.
You know what I mean? The offensive line, but it's like at the end of the day, if he get the ball out quick, is the offensive line a problem?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't really give you straight up cons outside of what he don't like. I'm not expecting 50 yards from him. I'm not expecting our offense to have 185 yards rushing. You know, if anything, if I have to say a con, it'll be Najee Harris would get, he'll see 8 in the box a lot more. You know what I mean? Because it's like they know Russ ain't about to burn. They know he's not about to hit you with a 20-yard run or have running plays for him, like no QB draws and none of that. That'll be the only con. But it's like, but if he get the ball out fast, something that Justin doesn't do too often, is a real con, or is just a different play, a different player, doing different things. So I don't really have a con until I see something. I don't want to just speculate. We too into the season to play that game.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mitch. Con.
Only con I really see is my only thing is how good is that calf? You know what I mean? I hope it's 100. I really do, because I know if he 100, we can get the best version of Russ. You see what I'm saying? But I would hate to see him try to like step up in the pocket or something like that and start hopping up. You know what I'm saying? Start hopping up, then we right back to where we started. You see what I'm saying? So I hope he really is 100% healthy. But other than that, I don't see a whole lot of cons. I really think that the veteran leadership going carry it. I hope he if he's starting, because we don't know if he's starting yet. If he's starting, I hope he cook. Real live. I hope he cook. Because we absolutely
whoever's in there, I want to cook. Like,
yeah,
I don't.
It don't matter who it is.
Don't
It
get
could
it
be
twisted now.
it could
Whoever
be
in there, I
Adam for
want
all
to
I care, long as we win the football game.
Well, whoever be the cook, but I hear your con. What's your con, Terrence?
Rust R&R, rust and rhythm, right? Because for us as fans, or some fans more than others, they want immediate results, right? They want result. They want immediate results that we wasn't even getting from Justin, right? In the past,
they want it from everybody though. Everybody.
So for me, when people say no, we already know Russ's legs are not Justin's, but let's be clear, Justin was not his running ability wasn't a catalyst to us winning. It was extending the plays. So do I think Russell can extend the play? He can. Is he going to extend it for 20 yards? Maybe not. But guess what? At the end of the day, the cons are rust and rhythm. How much rust, how much, like, what is his practice time like? His timing. Timing about football is everything, right? That's another thing that we talked about. How's his timing, his rhythm, his rust? Not necessarily worried about the calf, more so about the mental state of the calf. Because a lot of times during a football injury, we can be injured, right? But mentally, like depending on how you step or something like that, it could be a mental block. So, what's the mental block? Or like again, rust and rhythm. So for me, that's it when it comes to cons. In regards to Russell, because what Kev said, even if they do put 8 in the box, right? Because let's be technical, there were some games where they would put 8 in the box with us, and Justin was in there. They were daring us to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So even if they do that, to Kev's point, if we are able to, and I hope Arthur's listening, if we are able to, how about we spread our receivers out? We hit them with some quick action slants, because if they're 8 in the box, then that means we got room for quick slants, or we got room for quick slant outs to the tight end. So there's always going to be it's about if we're going to take that shot, and I think again it boils down to rust of rhythm. I'm not going to say offensive line, because we know what we're getting. This is our 6th offensive line in 6 weeks. So
listen, yes, and I'm actually looking at Ken's comment, and I'll put it up here after I say this. I know I am thrilled about the athletic ability of Justin Fields. I love that he can run. I love that he can extend plays with his legs. There are times where I feel he doesn't have to do that. There is a 5-yard minimum dump in front of him, and sometimes I wish he could make those plays too. And I think I've seen them on more than one occasion where he has a guy, but he sometimes goes for the deep pass for whatever reason. He's comfortable passing the ball to George Pickens on the sideline. They have a relationship where that's the play, their original number one read or whatever. but I see the guy in the middle of the field that's looking at him and saying, hey, me right here. And then the guy's going, and then we're off the field and we're punting. So these are the plays here that I see. No, he doesn't necessarily have to take off running, or Russell doesn't have to take off. He may be able to make the 5 yard dump, and that could turn into 8 yards.
He
And
does
these are
that.
the plays that get left
He
out
does.
there that we refuse to look at because it doesn't satisfy our appetite. It's not the flashy run that makes the defense mad at each other because they couldn't catch Justin, or the guy didn't go 1-on-1 with George Pickens down the sideline. It's the missing George. It's the missing or not being able to tackle a Darnell Washington in the middle of the field for me, like in him getting the extra yards, or Pat Fryer move that's gonna make you look silly and drag you with him. What y'all watching basketball?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was about to say, what y'all rooting for?
Man, unless you just hit a 3 with like a minute left and want to put them up by 4, hey, I know the kid watching the same. It's game 3. It's a big game, bro.
Okay.
Where?
I was like, yo, everybody's like, yes.
Not everybody. I was
Well,
listening.
them two, they watched.
Yeah.
I was listening, but I was looking
no,
too.
It was funny.
And
I know I didn't say nothing that provoked,
And D, to one other point, right? And something that we said again before.
Yeah.
I want to see when Arthur Smith starts using his personnel correctly. I'm so sick and tired of saying 11 personnel and 12 personnel.
A lot.
We use 12 personnel and we run the plays. Like, it's like, okay, we're running plays where I feel, okay, give Connor Hayward his time. But stop giving Connor Hayward routes that Pat Frymouth or Darnell Washington should be running. Like, stop doing that. Like give Pat Frymouth more targets. Give him more open space. And if we keep utilizing or 3rd and 2, we doing a reverse. Stupid. Third and then on the one play, it was like 3rd and 12. We did a sweep. What are we playing for? We're doing a sweep.
Yo, shout out to Pat Frymouth, yo. He missed that block so hard. He should have kept the ball.
God.
Oh God, he should have kept the ball.
But Ferguson missed the hell out that block.
I mean, and that's cool. He's allowed one, but damn, like we run plays behind the line of scrimmage. Don't make sense.
Yeah.
I think Arthur's getting to know his personnel too, man. Like, we have a lot of weapons. You feel me? So he's just trying to, and then he's trying to adjust to Justin. Like, he know what Justin can and can't do. So the plays I see is Justin friendly. I don't think Russ is getting those same type of plays at all.
Now we might get more stretch to field plays.
Yeah, possibly.
I believe that. I think you see a different offense, and that is just that. It's nothing against Justin. Like, I don't want this to come off as negative, but if you are Coach Tomlin, if you are looking at your veteran defense who has shown you every which way they can make a play for you and put the ball back into your quarterback's hand, you have an option to see what this quarterback could do with the ball in his hand, not just with his legs, but with the ball in his hands and with his arm. You have to go for it. Again, I definitely am open to seeing Russell Wilson, whether it's this week, next week, or whatever. I'm open to seeing him because that is the only way I can make an assessment on who should lead this team. So that is all.
Can I interject this?
Yeah.
I love this defense, right? I do. Kev can tell you, I'm a defensive guy, so I'm always gonna be on.
I know what's coming.
Austin blows.
I was gonna say, is this about the defensive coordinator?
Man, he be irritating me.
Mitch posts about him all the time.
Dog.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to give Minka Fitzpatrick the play calling on defense or something.
Oh man, yo.
You know what was the biggest indictment? The biggest indictment on him was last season when we played the Packers and Minka didn't play, and Minka was screaming at him on the sideline because he was about to call probably a cover 4 down inside the 10 with his simple behind. But He be irritating. I swear to goodness, he be irritating me, man.
Cover four
I
with
swear.
an umbrella wedge.
They didn't
Oh
look
my
as
God.
confused this week.
Turns.
They looked like they were communicating better this week. They
Oh,
didn't
they
look
definitely
like
Yeah,
were.
the defense
yeah,
was
they
defense
didn't
was
look
They
good.
like
definitely
what
were.
was going on. What's happening? So shout out to Patrick Queen and them for communicating better. It seemed like he was communicating earlier. From some of the plays I've seen, like the play hadn't even wrapped up yet, and he's handing out signals for the next one. So shout out to him, for helping getting that defense communicating properly.
Mm.
Going
I,
into this matchup, what do y'all think? Of course, there's another offensive weapon with Adams out there. I'm not 100% concerned because I mean we took CD Lamb out the game, or maybe Dak Prescott took CD Lamb out the game. I don't know, but it is Aaron Rodgers, so he's definitely going to be feeding the needle to Devontae Adams just because he's there and he's back. You have Wilson, you have Paul, the running back who also catches balls sometimes. So they and Lazard, who will catch a Hail Mary if Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers throws it. So they have some weapons out there. How do you guys think this works out?
I think it'll work out. I think we play them the same way our defense been playing. I'm not necessarily too concerned just because Devontae's there. Because if you look at the Jets have been inconsistent offensively as well, with
The
or
offensive line,
without.
you mean, or
Yeah.
just like
Aaron Rodgers is the problem, man.
He's
Not a
been
good one.
inconsistent. He's been making some errant throws,
Yeah.
as well.
And
So
he'll blame his
I don't,
teammates for it too.
and he'll
They
throw him
O
under the
line,
bus at the
they
press
O line
conference
ain't been
too.
good. O line ain't been good at all, particularly their tackles. Um,
Well, that's their strong game is their running game with Brees Hall and Allen,
yeah.
from Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
If we can minimize, if we can slow down the Jets running game and we can neutralize them two and make them one dimensional, then our chances are even better. As long as
I
the
The,
don't know.
offense
I
don't
just
put us
don't
in
be
bad
trusting us on
situations.
third and long.
that
So
hold on, and to that point, D, I was about to say with turns. See, this is where Austin irritates me. Okay, it will be 3rd and 6. Your boy will call a cover 6, cover 4. I'll be like, bro, why? I'm like, oh, for the life of me, I don't know why. I'm be like, dog, what? He
One
just
thing the
irritates
Jets, one thing the Jets do well that I think, depending on situational when they call it, is the Jets are a very good screen team, whether it's Brees Hall or Allen,
mm-hmm.
and I think that's where it may hurt us at times on those off time plays. But other than that, I'm okay with it, because Aaron he wasn't able to get the ball out of his hands fast against Buffalo like that.
Buffalo. Nah, it was
He
on him.
he wasn't able to do that, and I think the reason why is because a lot of the times he's looking for those crossing in the middle routes.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that Buffalo D line did good at Oliver and them was that when they rushed with their hands up, so it
Mm-hmm.
limited his passing lane availability as far as what he can see. I think if our defense limit the availability of his visibility to those quick passing lanes,
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll be fine.
But you
Yeah,
know
I just hope their
they
offensive
attacked the
line does
line of
not have a
scrimmage a
good
lot too, though.
day.
They attacked
Yeah,
the line of scrimmage a lot too. They didn't just rush 4. They
yeah,
they they was coming at them with 6,
yeah.
sometimes 5. They didn't give them the same looks all the time. And if we gonna sit there and cover 4, cover 6 the whole game, he gonna cook
And
us.
all he
We
gonna
can't.
do is he gonna bark at the line and try to disguise what's going on like he normally does
Oh,
with
he's
his
very good with
cadence.
his cadences.
Yeah, with his
Oh,
cadence
oh.
and try to expose that. And we just need to sit and settle and not give that up.
We can't give him the same. Even Tomlin said this at the press conference yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot give Aaron Rodgers the same looks the whole
Yeah,
game. If
yeah.
you give him the same looks all game, he will destroy you. And
Mm-hmm.
he started getting into a rhythm against Buffalo,
Buffalo.
but their pass rush was able to get to him, so he couldn't really continuously stay into a
And
rhythm.
they was missing field goals too. So
Yeah, the wind didn't help him at all tonight. But
Yeah,
at the
he
same
called out the
time,
kicker too.
yeah, TJ, and I hope that
Wait, you
Highsmith
said he caught
comes
out the
back.
kicker?
Yeah, he called out the kicker too. Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers.
He could be missed
Yeah,
two
yeah,
games.
I ain't gonna hold you. I would have snuffed Aaron. Yeah,
No, I,
he could be
if
my
I might
quarterback,
know
bro.
him on my way out, before they deny my access to the building, because you know how the Jets do, and they escort me out, I'm like, yo, come outside, Aaron. Like, come, we doing around, Aaron, because you messing with me and my money and my reputation. We let's go win. Let's go win right now.
Oh,
Me and you, AA Ron, because I'm
She for the AA Rod.
like we gotta go one round. As grown men, come outside. Like come outside. Cause I thought it was funny, like seeing them pick up Aaron. Like they pick him up, and then like you see his like beard right here, like his helmet's half off his head. When they pick him up off the ground, I'm like,
Oh,
it
yeah,
just like
yeah.
somebody's picking up their drunk uncle off of the ground when they pick him up.
This is
Oh,
they
man.
high uncle.
Yeah.
Cause nobody can
Aaron
convince me
Rodgers,
he ain't hide these games, bro.
he's one hit away from an injury. Every
Yep.
time he get up, he look like he don't want to get up.
He been
yeah,
getting
Sabrina.
too. He been getting
Sabrina
smacked.
cooking?
The Denver
Sabrina
game
cooking?
He hit the game winner.
when they
Oh, they
played
won.
Denver, he was
Mm-hmm.
getting absolutely
Hit the game winner
blown
for like
up.
40 feet.
So what is it? 2-1?
2-1 New
Yeah,
York.
it's
2-1
one
New
now.
York. Shout out to the WNBA Finals. 2-1.
Yeah, I don't think Sabrina made first team, yo.
But yeah.
Nah, she didn't.
Anything
That's
else that
bullshit, bro.
happened?
Man,
That's
Caitlin
why
Clark
they
made first team. Never mind.
You said that's why they escorted Sailor out the Quigley, because they would have snapped. They knew what they was doing, and that's one thing I just don't understand. Like, why are we acting like you had nothing to do with the Aaron? Like, let's not do that.
Aaron been doing that for his whole career. He bred for our little brother for real.
Let's not do that. And then the next week you gonna have a whole
He's
new
probably gonna be robbing people when he get older.
he gonna be on Pat McAfee like, come on over here. Like, what are we doing?
Come on,
Like, Pat McAfee like, come on.
Devontae Adams gonna be mad as hell at the end of the season. Like, I should have came there. God damn it. He ain't the guy from Green Bay.
You gotta lay in that one. I'll give you the Derek Carr thing because they set you up there, but you gotta lay in this Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Don't save him. Don't save him.
But they got two good receivers though. I'm not gonna lie. They got two good receivers because the other good man that's there right now, he a monster.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson.
I mess with him.
Yeah. So
I'm not a fan of Mike Williams though.
He ain't playing. It don't matter.
No, they were talking. The rumor
talking about him coming here.
I was like, please don't.
Yeah, I don't want him because he'll show you that you'll see his potential in the game. For the next 3-4 games, you like, God damn, like,
where'd you go?
He won't play because he be hurt. Stay hurt, bro.
Look, we got to make something shake with what we got before I want to add anybody. Sorry, that's just my thing. But I want to wrap it up. I do want to appreciate y'all for coming on and hanging on with me tonight. I think we can win this. It's going to be a beautiful night. We're going to have some Hall of Famers in the building. Sunday night is going to be magical. So shout out to I know Ken's going to be there. I don't know who else is going to be there, but shout out to everybody's going to be in the building. I don't know. I might be there. I don't know. I feel like if Russell starts, I have to be there. Right now, I am not scheduled to be there. At this very moment, I'm not scheduled to be there. But if
she going to be in the building. D gonna be in the building. Believe that.
With no voice. With no voice.
She gonna come back like, I was gonna do the show. I'm yelling too much. Right. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it's gonna be.
We'll see. We
doing the block. We doing the block jerseys. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
we doing the
block
numbers.
Lost. We don't lose, right? In the block jerseys.
Yeah.
So that is something that either quarterback is gonna have to deal with. That pressure. We won't be losing in the block jerseys. Don't make us look bad. And another nighttime renegade special. Can't wait. Aaron Rodgers know what it's like. He's been a part of Renegade. It's been a while since he's actually played us there. So welcome back, Aaron. We're going to get this W because they robbed us in Lambeau last time we played them, and I didn't appreciate that because Joe Hayden was not offsides.
Okay? Oh, yeah, I remember that crap, man. Yeah, they did rob us. I remember that.
He was not offsides.
That was the joint when him and Tomlin had that wink.
And
Yeah,
everybody's like, Aaron's going to Pittsburgh. Oh, thank God he didn't. Because let me tell you what you wasn't going to be able to do. If Aaron Rodgers would have got Mike Tomlin fired, oh my goodness.
I don't know, D. I don't know. The players have been mad, but the fan base has been like,
yeah.
If he
We
would have
know
been able
something.
to get Mike Tomlin fired, that's why I've been like, we're not bringing him here. He ain't getting me fired.
You know. We got a portion of the fan base that will absolutely love that.
Yeah, we got, but
and they loud as hell.
Portion of the fan base. I ain't worried about them though. Forget them.
And then when the new guy came in, they were like, Mike Tomlin would have did that.
Anyway, all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all had a good time. Thanks for everybody in the chat for joining us. Thanks for everybody that I met in Las Vegas. Great time. Great bunch. It's always a movie in Vegas, man. Still Nation really just took that thing over. And being in there and sitting on the visitor side, I didn't get to take it in like everybody did on TV. But to see it on TV was just dang. So I didn't get to see.
On TV is crazy.
They were like up above me and behind me. So I didn't get to appreciate it until I watched it. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, yes. Like, I knew we were in there. Like, it was one of those, you know how when you're at home, like, you know if your team did good or bad because the crowd's going to let you know. Like, you can go to the back and be like, oh, what happened? We scored or something. That's what it was. Like, I knew we were doing good or bad based off the crowd noise alone. Like, I didn't have to see a screen. I didn't have to hear the play. The crowd was telling me everything I needed to know. And that's how I know we was in there deep. Okay.
Queen said they had to do a silent count. Queen said the Raiders had to do a silent count in their home stadium. In your own stadium. That is bananas.
That's what you want. And I want that. I want that in Pittsburgh. The problem I have in Pittsburgh is when the defense is on the field, I want you to be loud for way longer than you are. I don't want them to be in the huddle and be able to hear the play call. Like, our fans will be quiet, will be sitting there, and then they start to line up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let me get up." Like, no. When the last play is over, keep it going, because I don't want them in the huddle saying, "Okay, you do this, you do that." Blah, 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 blah. No, you can't. I don't want you to be able to hear. Do not be able to hear where you're huddling. I don't want you like, I'll be like, I do not want them to hear the play. But we're not there. We're not.
We got both New York teams back to back before the bye week. Gotta belt the ass. And we home both games. Belt the ass. It gotta happen. It gotta happen.
Don't get comfortable. Do not get comfortable. So let's see. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. Kev, are you gonna be on this Friday?
Friday, Still for 7 podcast. You already know. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, X, no matter what you call it, we're gonna be there. And trust me, we talk a lot of shit over there. So don't come in the chats talking crazy, because you will get fried. We definitely being nice on D's show. Don't talk crazy in the chats, because you will get fried.
Shout out to Morale. Morale is always good. He is legendary for it. Mitch, tell people where they can find you, bro. I know you be on List for 7 podcasts as well.
Yeah, I'll be on there. I'm about to restart. Thanks for the help from my good man Kevin over here. I'm about to restart my podcast, but I'm gonna wait an additional week to start it. Okay. So I'll be letting everybody know when I drop it.
Sounds good. We'll be on the lookout for it. All right, y'all. I will check you later. I never bring up the Still Curtain Network, but I am on there. I think the show airs on Tuesdays. It's Bad Language. I'm gonna have a segment on there with Brian Anthony Davis. It's called he calls it Taco Tuesday. So I'm on there with him.
Like my grandpa.
Every Tuesday it airs on the Still Curtain Network. So Bad Language. It's his show, and I'm typically featured on there every week. So check it out. I forget to shout it out. But yeah, go ahead and download that, listen to that. And yeah, it's audio only, so you don't get to see my ugly face. I'm kidding. All right. Y'all have a great evening. I'll holla at y'all.
Peace.
Bye.
All right.
For Dex.
Time for the win.
I missed you. Bye.
Ken said some funny shit in the comments, man.